Mentioned the Rams. Well, that is who the Browns get next week. In fact, their next 5 opponents are all now 2-0.
It's going to be a very good litmus test for the Browns to go against the Rams. It's going to be at home. It's going to be going crazy. Can they play patient, penalty-free football? That'll be a key to that game.
Here's Johnson getting some work. Flag reins in from the far side. Freddie Kitchens, first-year head coach for the Browns.
Offside. Defense number 33. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Now, people say, where did Freddie Kitchens come from? He's been around the NFL. He's an old SEC guy that you're familiar with, Book.
Absolutely. Love Freddie Kitchens. Played against him back when I was in college. And he talked about tonight was going to be a big night because he did not know how his team was going to respond. A lot of expectations. They didn't play well last week. He said, I'm going to know when I get back on the plane on Monday night who's with me and who's against me. And I think he understands tonight a lot of guys play well. A lot of guys are going to be with him.
A little anxious was Jamal Adams. So he was a quarterback at Alabama. And, of course, you were a great all-SEC defensive lineman. You played against him. Not only did you play against him, you got after him a little bit, Book. This is you taking down Freddie Kitchens.
Oh.
It's a good thing John Perry wasn't around back then officiating the SEC because he may have got you with that body weight on the quarterback there. You were a little bigger back then.
Man, where did y'all get that footage from?
You guys shut out Bama that day, 27-0. You know, you look at Freddie now, hey, I get it, man. But, hey, this guy could throw it now.
Oh, without
He could
a
put
doubt.
it through a brick wall. He was a great baseball pitcher as well. And but he said, you know, seeing guys like you coming after me, that's why I stopped playing.
Hey,
Went into coaching real quick.
Freddie was a good player, and I think right now he's trying to grow into being a really good football coach. You know, he took Baker Mayfield and he groomed him last year, and the light went off for Baker. And Freddie got the job. Greg Williams wanted it, but Freddie got it. And now Freddie's chore is really simple. How do you take a young football team and mold them and teach them how to win? We all know that Cleveland has a lot of talent, but talent doesn't allow you to win. You can go have the greatest ingredients in the world. Doesn't make a great meal. You got to know how to put it together. And that's Freddie's job here in Cleveland. The little things. That's what he's talked about. How do I teach a young team to do the little things?
Second and 10, and driving the ball to Ratley there, and Ratley gets free. So Mayfield's totals will take a tick north. And now you think of how the Browns size up things in the AFC North with knowing what the Bengals are, what the Steelers might be without Ben Roethlisberger. And there are the Ravens with Lamar Jackson playing some great ball.
I think right now you have to put the Ravens up top. Defensively, Lamar Jackson has improved drastically from when we saw him against the Chargers until now. He's making tremendous throws down the field. And, oh, by the way, he can always take off with his legs. And so I handicap that division right now, especially with what happened with Big Ben. I think the Ravens will be at the top right now, and the Browns have to prove that they can handle that defense and that explosive offense. And Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, they have issues they have to take care of.
Nate Hairston is down for the Jets. I want to ask you about the Steelers and the situation there. Mason Rudolph, we know what he was at Oklahoma State.
Right.
He was a guy that could put the ball downfield, and they drafted him thinking perhaps the future once Ben is done. Well, the future's right now. Ben's out for the year, and then today they make the move and they pick up Minkah Fitzpatrick, outstanding, versatile defensive back from Miami for a first-round pick. A best-case scenario now with the Steelers.
Well, I think they're going to have to play controlled football. Remember how Seattle played last year?
Yes.
They took the ball out of Wilson's hands, and they ran the football and played to their defense. I think the trade of Minkah Fitzpatrick tells us how Pittsburgh is thinking. We're going to try to bolster our defense a little bit, allow Rudolph to settle in. Connor's got to get healthy. And where's Juju Smith-Schuster been?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to get going. So I think we understand how Pittsburgh is going to try to play. Mike Tomlin is a good football coach. He's never had a losing season. I trust Mike Tomlin. I think he'll do the right thing. They will play well and play to the finish line in Pittsburgh.
Be interested to see how Mason Rudolph responds. And, you know, I love some of the reports we got out of Pittsburgh today as to how Big Ben now wants to play a role almost as an assistant coach, as a mentor to the young quarterback. And
it's amazing. He didn't want to be a mentor when Rudolph first got there.
No, but now that he's injured, he wants to be a mentor. That's great. Jarvis Landry there.
Oh.
Now, there were different reports initially when OTAs and minicamp was going on that first year. But there is so much to talk about in the NFL right now, with the trade of Minkah, the news with the two quarterbacks, and Odell Beckham Jr. and what he did tonight with his return here. Of course, he's reunited with his best buddy, Jarvis Landry. Landry was so emotional when he got the news that OBJ was coming. They had the great years at LSU together. And, you know, interestingly, Odell had a strong relationship with Baker as well prior to. They would be training out in L.A., really liked the guy. And he said if ever there was the chance. And here they are, the three of them together. Of course, best friends, Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry, and they have reunited with the Browns. The tandem went for over 2,300 combined receiving yards during their junior season alone at LSU. And, of course, you know, they both have the knack for the great one-handed catches. We saw one earlier tonight. We've seen a couple of the best of all time. One happened right here at this stadium. And they've combined for 7 Pro Bowls already. A little fun last year at the Skills Challenge when we were down there with the guys, and they're having a blast tonight, that's for sure. 23-3 on a night where OBJ has 161 yards in that spectacular 89-yard touchdown. 2-minute warning here as the Browns have been rolling over the Jets.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, ask your doctor if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
I had the common type.
Mine was rare.
Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I just found out about my hepatitis C.
I knew for years.
Epclusa is only 1 pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
When setting up for a date, it's important to select just the right bottle. Find a new use for your old drink.
She's gonna love this.
Truly, a refreshing hard seltzer with only 100 calories. Drink what you truly want.
What are you doing?
Just checking my State Farm app.
I have an app.
Can he pay bills and track claims? He doesn't have an app.
Kevin, bring in my app.
Mr. Gabriel, you don't have an app.
Sounds incredible.
Coming up, post-game reaction from Baker, Beckham, and Le'Veon, and an update, if we can bring you that, on Trevor Siemian's condition. Plus, the fallout in Jacksonville, Louis Riddick on Jalen Ramsey's trade request from the Jaguars. We will see you after the game.
Also coming up, Ram Trucks post-game report on SportsCenter. Reaction from Ryan Clark as he discusses Baker Mayfield's night.
I mean, if you're Baker right now, it's 23-3. Hand the football off. Let's move on. No need to take any more hits.
Baker, a little bit of traffic. Dangerous position to be in there as he's taken down through the echo of the whistle.
I don't blame Baker, though. This is Freddie Kitchens. You're calling the plays. The game is in hand. You have the Rams next week. Get your star quarterback. Either let him hand it off or get him out of the game. There's no need for Baker Mayfield to be taking a hit when you're up 20 under 2 minutes. That's inexcusable.
Baker at 325 yards on the night. Did have that one interception, and then, of course, had the spectacular play, the hookup with Odell Beckham Jr.
Delay of game, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
And think about how the Jets are going to manage this situation now. As of course we'll be getting an update soon enough on Trevor Siemian, knowing Sam Darnold is out with mono and sitting there with Luke Falk. I mean, what's the messaging when you get back into the building?
Well, we have to play with the guys that we have, and we have to figure out a game plan that can take advantage of the guys that are playing their talent. You have Le'Veon Bell, you have Jamison Crowder, you have Demaryius Thomas, who we haven't even mentioned tonight. Have to use the weapons that you have. You can't worry about the guys that you don't.
You know, you consider the Jets roster. I know there was a lot of sizzle to the offseason when you pick up Le'Veon Bell and you think about the development of Sam Darnold, but here's the reality of it. You got 52% of the players are new to the team. That's the 3rd highest rate in the NFL. And they only drafted 15 of their players. That's the fewest in the league. So the reality is, yes, there was an uptick. Yes, there was a lot to look forward to, but thin in spots. Then you catch injuries the way things have gone, obviously, at the quarterback position. And you're in a bit of a transition.
And let's not forget, Mike Maccagnan is fired. In comes Joe Douglas. You're trying to reshape the roster a little bit. Adam Gase is the guy who's in charge, though. He's got to get, especially the offense, he's got to get the offense going and get everybody together.
Yeah, Joe Douglas, by the way, who was hired in June when they parted ways with Dave Maccagnan, the new general manager. This is a guy that is very highly thought of. He was under Howie Roseman in Philadelphia. He was with Ozzie Newsome in Baltimore, but they feel that they have a very bright future with the leadership of this organization now as he's in place, as Falk is finding a little bit of a rhythm with Robbie Anderson here in this second half.
Yeah, it's something to build on as you go forward. Robbie Anderson, now you get Jamison Crowder going. You can start to see how they can move the ball, but it's going to be on Adam Gase. If you're going to be an offensive savant, you got to create some plays and design an offense to use the guys that you have.
That is batted and then falls, leaving 16 seconds left. Chris Smith got a piece of that. Baker Mayfield talked about staying focused, not panicking after everything that went wrong week 1. They did that tonight. LBJ was clearly inspired to come back here to this stadium and put on a show. He did that tonight. 6 catches for 161 yards. As Josh Bellamy is able to get out of bounds with 11 seconds left, and Luke Falk getting himself some experience. Second season out of Washington State. This guy was a walk-on for Mike Leach. He went on to be one of the most prolific passers that the West Coast has ever seen. Speaking of Mike Leach in Washington State, how about Gardner Minshew with the Jags, another Washington State quarterback coming off the bench.
Did you see his outfit getting off the plane?
Oh, hey, we opened up the night with talking about Joe Namath's swag. Minshew's not bashful, is he?
Oh.
There's Montgomery here. And a flag is down with 2 seconds remaining.
Speaking of Minshew, I've never seen someone unbutton their shirt down to the bottom button like Minshew did.
Oh, no, you were Schenectady, New York, where I grew up back in the 70s. Trust me, you saw things.
Joe, use a helmet here at the end of the ball game. Lower and lead with the helmet.
Perry, I like how you analyze officiating right down to double zeros on the clock. You keep it coming, John Perry.
Personal foul, lowering the head to initiate contact. Defense number 51. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Mack Wilson, 5th round pick out of Bama. I'll put that thing down. We'll have one last time to line it up with Luke Falk. And the Browns will take a moment to celebrate their first win on Monday Night Football since 2008. Baker's Monday Night Football debut. He said, I love Monday nights in the fall because Mom and Dad would let me stay up late. It was the one night that he could stay up late. Well, didn't need to stay up late working hard tonight. They were in control throughout. The Jets have lost 7 straight home games. 7 straight home losses for the Jets. That is the longest active streak in the NFL. Baker goes for 325. Hooked up for a career-long reception for Odell Beckham Jr. of 89 yards as OBJ comes back to this spot and has 6 catches for 161. Next Monday night, we got Bears and Redskins. As it's time to send it to the Ram Trucks post-game report on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. For Lisa and Booger, I'm Joe Tessitore saying good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening with SVP.
Tess, thanks. Coming up on SportsCenter, get you right back to MetLife. Lisa Salters will be standing by with Odell Beckham.
Yes, this point, this is 18.
Mono. Here's Falk on first down with time, and he will check down to Bell. Makes the first man miss, a little stutter step, and goes ahead, then hurdles and stays in.
Down the field, put the ball in.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, reset point, research. Time. Match.
With anything up there, 31 degrees, mercury rising. Winds increased in speed a little bit, but nothing untoward. Glorious day. So, Xie Shui from Chinese Taipei, that all rhymes. She won the toss and elected to serve. There'll be ice towels at the ready in the freezers for these guys. It's always a welcome addition at the sit down. So here has never proved a fruitful tournament in the past for Hsieh. She's gone 0-3 in the main draws here of the Pan Pacific Open, with all 3 defeats coming in 3 sets. Will today be fresh pastures for her? She won in straight sets against Muguruza last time they met. Who knows?